I was standing in front of that door, gray wood, warm to the touch. The same door I had touched in my mind, every single day, for 8 days straight. But it shouldn't exist. I had no money. No credit. No logical reason to be standing there. And yet, there I was, with the key in my hand, about to walk into the house I built first. In my mind, 1 days, that's all it took. 1 day's visualizing, feeling, living inside something that seemed impossible. And then, it happened. Let me tell you how. But first, if you want to hear more real manifestation stories that will make you believe in the impossible, subscribe to the channel now. Because what happened to me can happen to you too. I woke up that Sunday morning, and the first thing I felt was the smell of mold. It wasn't strong, but it was there. Always there, in the walls, in the stained carpet, in that corner of the bathroom where the paint was peeling and I pretended not to see. It was the smell of my life trapped. Small. Suffocating. I got up slowly like I always did, trying not to make noise. Not that there was anyone to wake up. I lived alone, but the walls were so thin I could hear the neighbor's TV, the couple upstairs arguing, the dog barking at 5 a.m. Sometimes I thought, can they hear me crying too? I went to the kitchen. 5 steps, literally, 5 steps from the bed to the sink. My Brooklyn apartment was 270 square feet, and I swear half of that was an optical illusion. The fridge hummed too loud. The only window faced a dark alley. Sunlight never really came in. Just that pale, tired glow that made me feel like I was living underwater. I opened the fridge. Expired milk, half an onion wrapped in aluminum foil. A yogurt container I didn't remember buying. I closed the door and pressed my forehead against the cold metal. When did I stop dreaming? The question came out of nowhere. But I knew the answer. It had been 2 years. 2 years since the divorce. 2 years since Mark walked out the door with 2 suitcases and a ready-made excuse. 2 years since I moved into this place, which was supposed to be temporary, but became permanent because I simply didn't have the strength to look for anything else. I had no money. My credit was destroyed. My work as a freelance graphic designer barely paid the bills. I'd wake up, work, eat something forgettable, watch shows without paying attention, and sleep. And the next day, all over again. A wheel, no exit, no color. I went back to bed, sat on the edge, looked around, the faded beige walls, the water stain in the corner, the pile of clean clothes I didn't have the energy to put away. And then I felt it again, that tightness in my chest, that feeling that life was happening somewhere else. To other people. People who knew how to get out, how to start over, how to want again. I grabbed my phone. I don't really know why. Maybe because the silence was too heavy. I started scrolling through my feed. Random videos, recipes I'd never make. Kittens, couples dancing. And then I stopped. It was a short video. A woman talking about visualization, about manifesting a home. I almost scrolled right past it. Almost. But something about her face held me. She wasn't selling anything. She was just telling, like she was telling me a secret. I clicked, and what she said changed everything. Her voice was calm, almost whispered, like she was sitting next to me on that small bed. If you want to manifest something, it's not enough to think about it. You need to live it, in your mind, in your body. Feel the floor beneath your feet. Smell the air. Hear the sounds. Make it so real that your brain believes it's already happened. I paused the video. Rewound it, watched it again. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a memory and a vivid visualization. If you create the sensory experience with real emotion, it will start reorganizing your reality to match it. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and for the first time in a long time I didn't feel despair. I felt curiosity, a tiny spark, fragile, but there. What if I tried? I didn't believe in magic. Never did. But I also didn't believe in anything anymore. So what did I have to lose? I got up, went to the desk drawer, the one I barely opened, and pulled out an old notebook. Black cover, kinda beat up, leftover from some old project. I sat on the living room floor, cross-legged, and wrote on the first page. Day 1. I choose to manifest my home. My hand trembled a little. I don't know if it was fear or anticipation. Maybe both. I closed my eyes, breathed, and began. At first, it was just darkness. My mind was restless, thoughts invading. This is ridiculous. You're desperate. This won't work. but I breathed again, deeper, and sent those thoughts away, gently, like I was asking them to leave. And then I started building. I imagined a front door, wood, painted gray, a soft, warm gray. I reached out in my mind and touched it. The wood was smooth, slightly warmed by the sun. I felt the texture with my fingertips, ran my hand over the paint, grabbed the doorknob, cold, metal. I turned it, click, I pushed the door, and walked in. The first thing I felt was light. So much light. Coming through large windows. Warm, golden. I could feel it on my skin, that gentle warmth of morning sun. I blinked, still inside the visualization, and looked around. A small room. Empty. Hardwood floor, smooth, clean. I took off my shoes. I don't know why, I just felt I should. And when my feet touched the floor, I felt it. Warm wood, soft, solid. I wiggled my toes. Felt the texture, the weight of my body, the safety. I smiled. Without meaning to, just smiled. I walked slowly. Through the room, to the kitchen. Before I entered, I smelled it. Coffee. Fresh. Rich. Earthy. That smell of freshly brewed coffee that hugs you when you wake up. I walked into the kitchen. White cabinets. A window over the sink. Plants on the windowsill. Small. Green. Alive. A small wooden table with 2 chairs. Simple. Perfect. There was a mug on the counter, steaming. I picked it up, felt the warmth in my hands. The smooth ceramic. The weight. I brought it to my face, breathed it in deeply. And then I drank. The taste was there. Bitter. Hot. Real. I was there. When I opened my eyes, I was still on the living room floor of my Brooklyn apartment. The water stain was still on the ceiling. The sound of the neighbor's TV still leaked through the wall. But something had changed. I felt lightness, like I'd just come back from vacation, from somewhere safe, welcoming, mine. I looked at the notebook, picked up the pen, and wrote, "Thank you for the light. Thank you for the warm floor. Thank you for the coffee. Thank you for already being mine." I wrote as if it were real, because for 5 minutes it had been. The next day I did it again. Day 2. This time, I added details. I opened the back door from the kitchen, stepped out onto a small porch. Rustic wood, slightly rough under my bare feet, warm. I sat on the step, felt the sun on my face, heard birds, sparrows, singing in the surrounding trees, smelled jasmine from a nearby garden. The wind touched my face, fresh, gentle. I stayed there, just breathing, feeling, living. Day 3. I explored the bedrooms. Small, bright, with windows that actually opened. I touched the walls, white, smooth, cold to the touch. I lay on the floor of an empty room and looked at the ceiling. Clean, no cracks, no stains. Just white. Day 4. I went back to the porch. This time early morning. I imagined holding a cup of tea. Felt the steam on my face. Heard the sound of wind chimes. I hadn't planned that. They just appeared, swaying gently, tinkling. I smiled, even laughed, alone in my mind. But the joy was real. Day 5. I wrote another letter. Thank you for the peace. Thank you for the wind chimes I didn't even know I wanted. Thank you for letting me breathe. Thank you for choosing me back. Each day, it got easier. More real, more natural. I wasn't trying to manifest. I was living there, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and something inside me started to believe. Day 7. I woke up different, lighter, clearer. Like something had reorganized itself overnight. I made my coffee in that cramped Brooklyn kitchen, but in my mind, I was in the other one. In mine. And for the first time in 2 years, I didn't feel despair. I felt hope. And hope, I discovered, is a frequency. Day 8, Tuesday morning. I was working from home, sitting at the tiny desk that served as my office, when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. It was almost always salespeople or wrong numbers, but something made me stop. A strange intuition, a tingling in my chest. I answered. "Hello?" The voice on the other end was female, calm, professional. "Hi, is this Sarah Mitchell? This is Linda Harper from Harper Realty. I know this might sound strange, but a property just became available. It's not officially listed yet. And when I saw your inquiry from 6 months ago in our system, I just had this feeling I should call you." My heart raced. 6 months ago, I was still looking at house listings, before I gave up completely, before I accepted that I'd never have enough credit, stable enough income, enough hope. I don't think I can afford. She interrupted me gently. "Just come see it. Tomorrow. 10 a.m. No pressure. Just come see it. I think you'll be surprised." Silence. I should have said no. Should have protected myself. Should have kept that safe distance between the dream and inevitable disappointment. But another voice, quieter, braver, whispered inside. "Go." "Okay," I said, almost breathless. "I'll go." I hung up, stared at the phone. My hands were shaking. I opened the notebook, picked up the pen, wrote, "Day 8, the universe called me." Day 9, Wednesday, 10 a.m. I took an Uber to an address I'd never heard of. A neighborhood between Brooklyn and Queens. Tree-lined streets, quiet. The kind of place where people actually say good morning to strangers. The car stopped. I got out and saw it, a small house, single story, white with gray trim, and a front door. Wood, painted gray, soft gray, warm. I stopped breathing. I couldn't move. Just stood there on the sidewalk staring at that door, the same door I had touched in my mind every single day for 8 days straight. This isn't possible. But it was. Linda appeared on the porch, smiling. "Sarah, come on in!" I walked, slowly, in slow motion, climbed the 3 entrance steps, touched the door, smooth wood, slightly warmed by the sun, exactly as I had felt it. I walked in, and time stopped. Light everywhere, coming through large windows, falling on the floor, warm, golden, alive. I took off my shoes. Didn't even think. Just took them off, hardwood floor, smooth, warm under my feet. I stepped, felt it, wiggled my toes. It was the same floor. I walked to the kitchen, slowly, like I was in a trance. White cabinets, window over the sink, and there, right there on the windowsill, someone had left a little plant, a small succulent in a white ceramic pot. I laughed out loud, uncontrollably. Linda looked at me, curious. "You okay?" "I've been here before," I said, wiping away tears that started flowing without permission. "What do you mean?" I can't explain." I went to the back door. My hand trembled when I touched the doorknob. I opened it, a small porch. Rustic wood. Slightly rough. I stepped out, barefoot, warm wood, sun on my face. I closed my eyes and heard it. Birds, sparrows, singing, smelled it, jasmine. From a nearby garden, felt it. The wind, fresh, gentle, touching my face. I opened my eyes, looked around, everything, every detail, every sound, every smell. I had lived here for 8 days, in my mind, and now I was living it for real. I turned to Linda. My voice came out trembling, broken. "How much?" She smiled, like she knew something I didn't yet. "The owner wants to sell quickly." Complicated situation. The buyer backed out at the last minute, and she just wants it done. She's asking what $850 a month, rent to own option. First month security deposit, and it's yours if you qualify. My brain froze. When $1,850. It was within what I could afford. Tight, but possible. That's what I can do," I whispered. Linda tilted her head. Her smile became softer, wiser. I knew it would be. I went home that day in shock. Couldn't process it, couldn't believe it, but also could because deep down, I knew I had built that house first, with my mind, with my body, with my emotion, and the universe had just delivered the address. The next 12 days were a blur of paperwork, calls, credit checks, and anxiety mixed with faith. Day 10. I filled out forms, sent documents. My income as a freelancer was irregular, exactly the kind of thing that usually scares landlords. But the homeowner, a woman named Margaret I never met in person, told Linda she had a good feeling about me. A good feeling, like the universe had whispered in her ear. Day 12. My credit check came back. It wasn't good, but Linda called and said, Margaret decided to overlook it. She trusts you. Trusts me. A stranger trusting me more than I trusted myself. Day 14. I needed money for the security deposit in first month. I did the math. I was short, $200 less than I needed. That night, I closed my eyes. Went to the house, mentally, sat on the porch, felt the wind, heard the birds, and whispered, "Thank you for already being solved. Thank you because the path is open. Thank you because everything is aligning." Day 15. An old client sent me an email, a project I'd done months ago and completely forgotten about. He'd delayed payment, and now he was sending it, with late fees, $300. I looked at the bank notification and cried, because I was starting to understand this wasn't luck, it was alignment. Day 18th, Wednesday, 3 p.m. I was making coffee when my phone rang. Linda, "Sarah, it's official. You've been approved. The house is yours. Move-in date, March 27th. March 27th. Day 21. I hung up. Sat on the floor of that cramped Brooklyn kitchen. That kitchen I hated. That kitchen that suffocated me. And I cried. But this time it was different. It wasn't pain. It was gratitude. Gratitude mixed with wonder. With reverence, with the spine-tingling sensation that I had just witnessed something sacred. I hadn't begged. Hadn't chased. Hadn't panicked. I had just decided. And then I had lived it. Mentally, sensorially, emotionally, and reality had bent. Day 24, March 27th, 7 a.m. I was standing in front of that gray door, my door, with the key in my hand. The key was cold, heavy, real. I put it in the lock, turned it slowly. Click, I pushed the door, and walked in. The light enveloped me, warm, soft, like a hug. I closed the door behind me. Stood there, in the silence, in the peace, in the house I had built first with my mind, and then with my faith. I walked to the kitchen. Made coffee, real coffee, smelled it, tasted it, and walked to the porch. I sat on the step, barefoot, holding the warm cup in my hands, the sun rising, the birds singing, the smell of jasmine in the air. I closed my eyes and whispered, "Thank you." I thanked the universe. I thanked God. And I thanked myself for the part of me that decided to believe, for the part of me that refused to stay small. I opened the notebook. The last page I'd written said, Day 20, tomorrow I move in. I turned the page, picked up the pen, and wrote, Day 21, I'm home. Manifestation isn't magic, it's decision. It's living in the frequency of already having it. It's training your brain and body to believe the future is now. For 21 days, I didn't wish. I didn't wait. I lived, and reality adjusted. If you're watching this now thinking, that's impossible, it was just coincidence, I get it. I would have thought the same thing a few months ago. But I'm sitting on this porch right now, in the house I visualized, in the house I touched with my mind before touching it with my hands. So the question I leave you with is, what are you building in your mind? What are you living mentally before living it physically? Because I promise you, your brain doesn't know the difference between memory and vision. If you make it real enough, vivid enough, emotional enough, it becomes a blueprint, and reality loves blueprints. You don't have to believe me, you just have to try, with all 5 senses. With real emotion, feeling gratitude as if it's already happened, and watch what happens. Your day 1 can start now. If you want to hear more real manifestation stories like this one, Subscribe to the channel now. Every week, new stories of ordinary people who transformed their lives through vibrational alignment. Hit the bell so you don't miss any videos, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it today. If you want to do the same technique that changed my life, the link to a guided meditation for visualizing your dream home is in the description and pinned comment. See you in the next story.